It was a day etched in American history, a day when the world seemed to hold its breath. November 22, 1963, the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. This wasn't just a tragedy, it was a wound on the American psyche, a question that lingered in the air. Why? The official investigation pointed to a lone gunman, Lee Harvey Oswald, as the sole perpetrator. But the circumstances surrounding that fateful day in Dallas have always felt shrouded in mystery, leaving many to question the narrative. Tonight, we delve into the heart of these theories, examining the evidence and scrutinizing the players. From the shadowy world of organized crime to the halls of power, we'll navigate the labyrinth of possibilities, seeking answers to a question that continues to define a generation. Who killed JFK? The Warren Commission concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone in killing President Kennedy. They painted a picture of Oswald as a disgruntled loner, a former Marine sharpshooter with communist sympathies. According to the official narrative, Oswald fired 3 shots from the Texas School Book Depository, where he worked, fatally wounding the president. The evidence seemed straightforward: the rifle found at the scene, Oswald's fingerprints on the weapon, and eyewitness accounts placing him in the building. But even with this seemingly damning evidence, questions lingered. Could Oswald, a notoriously poor marksman, have made those shots with such precision and speed? And why did he maintain his innocence right up until his own untimely death at the hands of Jack Ruby? The speed of the investigation, the destruction of key evidence, and the lack of transparency fueled suspicion, leading many to believe that there was more to the story than met the eye. Was Lee Harvey Oswald truly the mastermind behind Kennedy's assassination? Or was he a pawn in a much larger, more sinister game? The world of organized crime, with its shadowy figures and clandestine dealings, has always held a certain allure. So it's no surprise that in the aftermath of JFK's assassination, the mafia emerged as a prime suspect. The theory posits that powerful mafia bosses, angered by the Kennedy administration's crackdown on organized crime, sought revenge by orchestrating the president's assassination. Adding fuel to the fire were rumors of JFK's alleged romantic involvement with Judith Exner, a woman also linked to notorious mobster Sam Giancana. Could this personal connection have made Kennedy a target for mafia retribution? Furthermore, New Orleans, a city with deep ties to organized crime, became a focal point in the investigation. Lee Harvey Oswald was known to have connections to the city, and some believe he may have been in contact with mob figures there. Was JFK's assassination a calculated hit orchestrated by the mob, a brutal message sent to a president who dared to challenge their empire? While concrete evidence linking the mafia directly to JFK's assassination remains elusive, the circumstantial evidence and the sheer audacity of the act have kept this theory alive for decades. The CIA conspiracy. Did America's own spy agency turn on its leader? In the world of espionage and covert operations, truth often takes a back seat to national interest. The theory posits that Kennedy's foreign policy decisions, particularly his handling of the Bay of Pigs invasion and the escalating tensions with Cuba, angered elements within the CIA who saw him as weak and indecisive. The failed Bay of Pigs invasion, a CIA-backed attempt to overthrow Fidel Castro, had humiliated the agency and enraged those who had staked their careers on its success. Could they have viewed Kennedy as an obstacle to their Cold War objectives, a leader who needed to be removed? Adding to the intrigue is the mysterious figure of David Atlee Phillips, a high-ranking CIA officer suspected of having ties to Lee Harvey Oswald. The CIA's involvement in various assassination attempts on foreign leaders, most notably Fidel Castro, further fueled suspicions about their potential role in Kennedy's death. Did elements within the CIA operating in the shadows orchestrate a coup against their own president? The Soviet connection. Did the Kremlin order a Cold War assassination? The Cold War was a time of immense global tension, a chess match between superpowers with the fate of the world hanging in the balance. In this atmosphere of paranoia and suspicion, it's not surprising that the Soviet Union, America's arch-nemesis, became a prime suspect in JFK's assassination. The theory suggests that the Kremlin, fearing Kennedy's resolve after the Cuban Missile Crisis, ordered a retaliatory strike, eliminating the young president to sow chaos and weaken the United States. Adding weight to this theory was Lee Harvey Oswald's defection to the Soviet Union in 1959. Did he, during his time in Russia, become a sleeper agent for the KGB, awaiting instructions to carry out a deadly mission upon his return to the United States? While concrete evidence directly linking the Kremlin to the assassination remains elusive, the possibility of Soviet involvement continues to intrigue and fuel speculation. The LBJ conspiracy. Did the ultimate insider mastermind JFK's demise? The assassination of President Kennedy thrust his vice president Lyndon B. Johnson into the spotlight. Within hours of Kennedy's death, Johnson was sworn in as the 36th President of the United States, forever linked to the tragedy that preceded him. But what if Johnson's ascension to the presidency wasn't merely a twist of fate? What if, as some believe, he was the mastermind behind the assassination, orchestrating the removal of his rival to seize power for himself? The theory, while often dismissed as outlandish, points to Johnson's political ambitions and his alleged involvement in various scandals and cover-ups throughout his career. Did Johnson, fearing exposure or driven by an insatiable thirst for power, conspire to eliminate the one man standing in his way? The LBJ conspiracy theory, while lacking substantial evidence, continues to fascinate and disturb. The unanswered questions. JFK's legacy of mystery. For over 5 decades, the assassination of John F. Kennedy has remained one of the most perplexing and enduring mysteries of our time. Theories abound, each offering a different perspective on the events of that fateful day in Dallas. But amidst the speculation and conjecture, one thing remains clear. The official narrative, the story presented by the Warren Commission, has failed to satisfy the public's need for answers. Too many questions remain unanswered, too many loose ends left untied. If you found this deep dive into the mysteries surrounding JFK's assassination as captivating as I do, hit that like button, share this video with your fellow history buffs, and subscribe to the channel for more thought-provoking content. Until next time, keep asking questions and never stop seeking the truth.